Hello.
Hello again. Morning, good
Morning,
afternoon.
Afternoon, evening.
Here we are again.
And welcome. This morning we're going to talk a little bit more about love and forgiveness.
Another subject in our book, yeah, and which is a big one. And,
It is.
And it does affect every single one of us.
Yeah.
At some point in our lives. And sometimes we can't move forward because we don't forgive, which is the hard one.
That is the hard one, because when somebody wrongs us, I think certainly my natural reaction is to hurt back.
Yeah, and then we tend to forget really what was the problem in the first place, because sometimes it's really
trivial.
Yeah, and we do say things like that we shouldn't say, but at the end of the day, it's how it affects you. How do you feel about when somebody hurts you, and you feel like, I'll never forgive them for doing that. But what you've got to remember is actually, who is this hurting? Is it hurting the person, or is it hurting you?
Well, I think the person's 9 times out of 10 moved on.
Absolutely.
And not giving it a thought anymore as to what actually happened and how they hurt you. And I always feel now, hindsight is a wonderful thing, but now I think one of the best things you can do is to sit with it for a while and then confront that person in the nicest possible way and say something like, do you realise how much that hurt me? Because I would think that other person doesn't.
No, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't confront them.
No, sometimes you can't.
No, and that part of it is, I think, is the part that you work through and think, well, actually, who is this hurting?
Who is it?
Do take it out. Do take it out and look at it. And if you've got to sit there and bawl your eyes out, that's absolutely fine.
I think as well what we tend to do, and it depends what the hurt is.
It does.
We push it down.
We do.
We don't address it. We try and forget it.
Yeah, you stick it in the back of your mind, but it keeps rearing its head, and usually in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
When you don't want it. But it is a work in progress, and there's questions you need to ask yourself is, who is it hurting? And it's only you.
Yep.
If you wanted to change it, who would it hurt by changing it? Depends on the magnitude or whatever it is. Because could it open a can of worms for other people? If it's a family thing, could that sort of involve family that you really it's unnecessary to do? So no, normally you wouldn't want to open it up and chuck it at other people then.
But you don't want to hold on to this, because that in itself is causing you health issues.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is acceptance, and accept what's been. Because one, no, you can't change it. If you do change it, who will it hurt? And the third one is, who is it hurting? Only me, because it's me that's thinking about it.
Yeah.
The person who did the deed or said this, whatever they said to you, it's not bothering them. They're walking around thinking, oh, well, I'm not worried about this. So it is acceptance. Acceptance is another big word, really.
It is a big word, and sometimes we don't want to accept that some things are what they are or the way that they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes we live with denial.
We do, and again, it's like that sort of feeling of I can't forgive is another feeling of stress and anxiety. And that, again, is manifesting into your own body, because you've got this adrenaline rush going on all the time, and it's just sitting there, so causing all kinds of problems and imbalances in the body. And that's when you can, and it's been seen that people do become ill over it. So it's a big subject, but we do try and help you through that again and flick your switch. It's a big area that we cover.
It is a big area, but it's, the things that we cover in it are simple suggestions and things. And I would add just now that although we've written this, the things and the suggestions that we give you are not guaranteed that they're going to work for you.
No.
I think that's
it's not a quick fix. Because it's this book is all about working for yourself. It's about your journey through the book. It's not like a story or anything. It's various things just to help you to cope with everyday living, really.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, you'll identify at the beginning of your journey with this what it is that you want to work on and work your way through that. But then in 6 months' time, a year's time, you may think, there's something I need to work on. And so you start all over again, and you pick the book up again, and you start a new journal again, and
but
repeat.
But the different tips that we've got in there is will help you find your way then.
Yes.
And to be able to live the best life that you can without this feeling of like, I can't forgive you for doing this.
Yeah.
Because the more you don't forgive them, the more that you're just not going to feel good, to be fair.
Exactly. And there'll come a time when all these things that you're learning in Flick Your Switch, you'll do it as a matter of course. You won't think about it anymore. It will come naturally to you. And you'll find over time that your life is taking on a much calmer, happier, peaceful way of being. So,
because we want to change that mindset. We want to change your mindset and show you how to change your mindset so that you can wake up every day and just think, right, today, even if it is just for today.
Just for today. Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is how I want to live a peaceful life today.
I would also just add here that it sounds all very well, Jill and I giving you these words of advice and whatever, but don't forget we've lived long lives too, and we've struggled. Life has not always been easy for either one of us. We've been through the mill and back, so we do have some idea about what we're talking about. It may not be your particular problem, but it might.
And we do understand that it affects people in different ways. But what we want to do is just try and change that negative thought
into something more positive.
Absolutely. And it just changes the whole thing, really. It
changes your life.
I
mean, it's been a work in progress for me, and it still is. It's still a work in progress because none of us are perfect.
No.
We're perfectly imperfect.
Yeah. And, it's sometimes I can just get up some morning and think and fly off the handle because maybe somebody's parked in my space or done something, as trivial as it is. And sometimes it is just trivial. Yeah. But actually I just think, oh, well, it's not the end of the world. Book your ideas up. And I often say, give yourself a kick up the backside in the pants and you'll just get on with it. But that's my view. It's not everybody's. But, that's what we're aiming to do, is just to help you, guide you as best we can to change your mindset.
Okay. So that's that for today.
We'll
be back again.
We could go on and on and on about it, really.
The thing is, once we get together and start talking about all of this kind of stuff, we can talk for hours, days even. So and we have
even at 3:00 in the morning.
Okay, well, have a lovely day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.